Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and it's the weekly reading for the week of October 21st to the 27th. Pisces, this week we have the Pillar of Light Oracle card. You have the Two of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, the Tower energy, Page of Swords, Queen of Swords, and Wheel of Fortune. Pisces, the Tower has come out I'm halfway through my readings for this week. Doing them a few days before that. And the Tower has come out in most of them. So it's really interesting energy. It's not just you guys. We are really being called at the moment to let go, release, and purge. The people and situations that are not serving us, that are not a vibrational match for us, so that we can allow in a much higher frequency of energy. And this is happening as a result of a lot of the planetary and energetic shifts that are going on at the moment. In particular, as some of you might know, we moved into 5D consciousness near the beginning of this year, and there's a lot more light coming down. Our consciousness is expanding because of that, and things that are not a fit for us anymore, that are on the old world, part of the old world, that 3D consciousness, it can't exist in that energy. So that's why it's being released, and that's why we're seeing so much Death card and Tower card. Like, you can't fool the tarot. Like, it just the right cards come out. It's really amazing how it works. Anyway, I'm just going to start by reading out your oracle card here, Pisces. Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. You are heaven and earth in perfect expression, a conduit for the light of the heavens to the earth. You are the rainbow bridge. Take time to meditate. Imagine yourself as a pillar of light, connecting the light of the heavens above with the earth. As the light shines through each of your chakras, you activate the rainbow bridge that many ancient scriptures speak about, raising your vibration and the vibration of the planet, linking to the higher realms of the cosmos, guides and angels, and spirit, with the wisdom, ancient wisdom keepers and beings of planet Earth. Pisces, you've had a lot of this kind of energy as well over the last probably couple of months. I feel like you guys are quite a spiritual side, and I think a lot of you really are on the I think a lot of you are in the 5D consciousness, I must say. So I think that's why we see so much of this theme coming up in your readings, really about ascension and spiritual awakening and that kind of thing. So let's go to the cards and see what we have here. So I'm going to start with the Two of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. So recent past here, Pisces. Yeah, I feel like some of you have really been getting clear on a situation, really waking up to the truth in a way with this Queen of Swords energy. And the situation, well, what would it be? We've got the Two of Pentacles here. So this is a general reading, guys. It's difficult to say, exactly what the situation is. You'll know what it is for you. But under Two of Pentacles energy, it's a situation that has made you feel unstable, unsteady, ungrounded in a way. So what could that be? Well, it could be that we know that our career is no longer serving us, and we know it's going to come to our job or career, we know it's going to have to come to an end at some point, and there's that unsteady feeling because we're thinking, oh, where's our next paycheck going to come, in? Am I going to be able to find another job that's near my home? All those kind of things. Same can be said about a relationship situation. Maybe we know in our gut that it's just not going to work, and then we think, oh gosh, I've got to go through that whole upheaval process, and that makes you feel unsteady. And I think also under that Two of Pentacles energy, there can be a big element of indecision, weighing up the options, changing your mind back and forth, to and fro, up and down, that kind of, like these pentacles, that are just being juggled. So I think for a while there was that energy of, should I stay, should I go, should I move on? Should I stay put? And you probably felt quite, a certain amount of emotional turmoil through that. And of course, that ungrounded, unstable energy. Two of Pentacles, it can be also the energy of, a certain amount of, being played or playing somebody else, whether that's in love and work as well. And, under that Queen of Swords energy, well, you're awakening to those truths. You're seeing the situation for exactly what it is. You know it needs to change, to transpire, to be released. The Queen of Swords is also about, being victorious in a situation which I definitely think you will be, because, you know, we've got the Wheel of Fortune saying it's time at the moment to deal with this situation. There's real transformation on offer for you if you can bring this situation to a completion. You know, the Queen of Swords, you know, she uses that sword to free yourself from the situation, to cut the binds, to cut the ties to the situation, to cut the energetic cords. And that's what you're being called to do this week, Pisces. So, focus energy for the week, the Tower and the Six of Swords. So here we go, Pisces. Here's the showdown. I think it's coming for you this week. So the Tower energy, like, you know, it is a very dramatic looking card, but it's not always a super external dramatic moment. So for example, and especially because you have the Queen of Swords here, it can just be a really powerful epiphany, revelation, exposure of truth that makes you understand a situation for what it is, and that you no longer can stay in it, and it, you know, absolutely must move on. It can come in that way. It can come in as an unforeseen event, you know, something very unexpected that forces you to kind of see something that maybe you haven't wanted to see before. Either way, you know, this is a blessing in disguise. It's the universe stepping in to bring down a false construct, to, you know, actually topple down, bring to the ground a situation that was built on an unsteady foundation anyway. You know it's unsteady because you've been feeling ungrounded. You know, it wasn't a fit for you anymore. We have a square tower with a round crown, and it only took, you know, one bolt of lightning to bring this thing crashing down. When the tower comes in, the reminder is that we must let it fall. You know, if we try to hold on to our tower, or you know, rebuild our tower, then we find ourselves 1 week, 2 weeks, 6 months down the track at another tower moment, and thinking, oh, well, I should have just listened to the first one. Now I've wasted that time. I've missed other opportunities in the meantime. So there's no way to rebuild the same tower. If we want to rebuild a situation, we need to build it from a completely different foundation. That can be tricky to do if it's a relationship. You know, in that situation, there's probably counselling that's needed so that a lot of the past patterns and stories can be cleared. But I do see you moving on from the situation, Pisces. I think you know it's done and it's time. Yeah, and I think, you know, if we look here in the past, you know, you had those unsteady emotional waters, because, you know, in tarot, water is, you know, represents emotions. We can see that it was really tumultuous for you. We still see that here, but this is the past, and now you're sailing into these calm, clear waters. With the Six of Swords, you know, there's a certain amount of, like, kind of regret or grief. There is, like, this is a rite of passage, but there is a little bit of a heavy heart associated with having to leave the situation, because, you know, at some point it was something that you invested time and energy in. Maybe you loved the people that were involved, but you know deep down that to get to your next karmic lesson, to get to your next the next part of your predestined journey, that you have to move on. And that is life, guys. You know, when one chapter finishes, another one opens. If we hold on to a chapter too long, that's when things stagnate and go bad. If you can, try and leave these swords, you know, on the shoreline rather than taking the baggage with you in your vessel, and try and carry a light mental load into your next chapter. Either way, I think there's real growth and, you know, a sense of harmony that you're going to get through moving on from this situation. It just might not feel like it until a little bit later. Near future though, this is where the tides turn. Look at this. Wheel of Fortune and Page of Swords. So what this is saying to you, Pisces, is that this was all written. You know, this is divine timing. This is saying that you're actually on your divine schedule for bringing the situation to an end, so that new beginnings can open up for you. So that's a really nice reminder. And the Wheel of Fortune is about, you know, a luck change. It's about the tables turning in your favor. It also relates to, like, the big karmic lessons of life. I think this situation probably did hold a life lesson for you, but know that you've learned that now, and, you know, by holding on to the situation, then you're just holding yourself back from getting on to your next chapter. You know, the Wheel of Fortune is said to have a 10-year energy. So you are now opening up a whole new chapter that's going to influence the next decade of your life. Page of Swords. I love the Page of Swords here with the Wheel of Fortune, because the Page of Swords can be known as the Wind of Change card. So we have, you know, two cards of change here. And the Page of Swords is kind of like the first steps of new progress, new beginnings, new action, new ideas, new thoughts, new truths. So this is the beginning of your new start here, in that sort of like, you know, youthful energy that pages have. I think some of you might be feeling a little bit reborn, a little bit fresher and younger, and more free-spirited, more energetic, all of those kind of things. But yeah, just keep in mind as you're going through that Tower moment that this is written. This is your time to bring it to a completion. The universe is on your side. It absolutely has your back. And you know, this is all happening so that you can allow more light into your vessel, so that you can keep ascending, so that you can keep moving into the new earth. You know, a lot of us are going through these really intense moments now, but just think a few years down the track when, you know, we've all got those kind of energetic upgrades, you know, that it's going to be a different world. And the change is upon us now, Pisces, and you're a big part of that. So that's what I have for you this week. I wish you all the best with what could be quite a big week for you. Keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm not saying every Pisces is going to have a Tower moment this week. Some of you will. And I'll see you back here for another reading next week.